Very good morning, very good afternoon, very good evening, and above all, very welcome here to César Vidal TV and to this trip that we make every weekend above the putrid miasmas of the most disgusting stenches and the most incredible pests that Cristina Seguí so aptly defined as the Feminist Mafia. Of course, the pilot of this risky and brave ship is Cristina Seguí herself. Cristina, very good evening. Where are we going today?
Very good evening, Mr. Cesar. That's it, exclusive program. There is no other Feminist Mafia? No, there isn't. I mean, in this day and age, who would dare to make a program with that name without being thrown in jail? If we were seen by, I don't know, some prosecutor or some member of the government, that's because they are stingy and don't pay. But if not, we would have a problem. Well, let's talk more about sports. If I ever knew that, would I become a sports commentator in my younger days? Because this is Odom and Gomorrah.
You would have swept away? You would have swept away now?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't give up anything either. Life is a process of constant reconversion.
You never know, but come on, I would have swept away today. I'm thinking of someone who doesn't know how to do the O with a pencil and earns millions. I mean...
Yeah, right. I'm also thinking of
pages in a field like this.
Maybe we'll talk about her. Today, although she's not strictly a sports commentator, but she knows everything. So, well, I don't know.
She doesn't really know anything, but...
Maybe she'll come out on this. Well, the truth is that we continue with football. Soccer. I'm not eager for it, but it's just that the thing won't leave. Because now, in addition to the 500 combat tanks that Biden has given to Morocco, 500 Bradley and Abrams tanks, which will travel from Washington to Rabat by decision of the United States Department of Defense, Mohamed VI has not missed this opportunity to give us a subtle yellow rain in the face, again, with the invaluable help of the Spanish government, which has defenestrated the Spanish women's soccer coach and world coach. In other words, the Sartre for Moruno is a horny, because the Moroccan Federation has announced the hiring of Jorge Vilda, deceased and villain in Spain, in the courts and in soccer, and new national hero of the Alawis. Alawis, because he has been hired as coach of his women's national team, which made its international debut at the FIBA in the third African Women's Soccer Championship. And although I would say that the coach of the Ahabila should have been Jenny, imagine her, a coach of the national team. I can imagine her attacking the players at night. The 42-year-old coach from Madrid is going to take charge of the Atlas Lionesses. Those are their names.
They're called the Leonas del Atlas.
Yes, it's the name you'd give to a roadside whorehouse, but it's not the name you'd give to a roadside whorehouse.
It has the name of a magazine from a long time ago.
I was going to say it has a magazine name from a long time ago, but it's true, now that you say it, yes, it could be a roadside whorehouse with that name.
With that name, with the Leonas.
No, I'll give you that. I have to...
Las Leonas? The truth is that it sounds yes, no, I grant you that.
Me?
Then, of course, they came
I have to tell you that more than 40 years ago, two friends of mine decided to go on vacation to Morocco.
So this friend of mine who
then,
had no
of course,
shape
they came
will be the
laughing at how
closest thing to a
sycophantic
kite
the
that I have
religious
come to
sellers
know
of
in my
Morocco
life.
were and so on.
I had
And then
another
he says,
concept, but
and they
physically
called
the
us the
truth is that I
gazelles
had
of
some
Juan
kind of
Carlos.
metabolic disease. The gazelles
So
of
this
Juan
friend of mine,
Carlos,
who
I
had no
to make
shape,
some effort
was
to
the
keep them
closest thing to a
laughing.
kite that I have
But,
ever
well,
known in my
the
life.
others came to ball their
She had
potential
another
customers,
concept,
which
but
is something
physically,
very
the
understandable.
truth is that
But
she
this
was
of the Atlas
She was, I had
lionesses,
some kind of
really.
metabolic disease.
Impossible.
The gazelles
Impossible.
of Juan Carlos,
But
I
to
had
me,
to do some tests
the
to
Atlas
keep from
lionesses
bursting
really
out laughing.
seem to be the
but,
last straw.
well, we were going to play
No,
ball
I
with
loved
his
it.
possible
I
clients,
had to look it up
which
to
is
make
something
sure,
very
I say.
understandable.
I think
but
the
this
editor has
Atlas
snuck in.
lionesses thing,
I would
for
not have been
real,
surprised either, but no, it is totally true.
impossible,
I mean, he's taking over
impossible.
this team for the next
But
4
really,
seasons,
to me,
5
this
weeks after
Atlas
his
lionesses
sacking.
thing
So Vilda
seems to me
takes
to
over
be
this
already.
African team, which
I was
played in the last
delighted. I had to look it
16
up to
of the
make
recent
sure.
World
I mean,
Cup,
I think
and
the
which
editor
only
has slipped
3
in.
months ago was
I would
involved
not
in
have been surprised
controversy
either, but
sparked by a BBC
no, it is
journalist
totally
who
true.
had to rush
In
out
other words,
there
he is
because
going
he
to
asked the
take charge
panel
of
if
this
there was a
team for the
certain
next
ratio
4
of
seasons.
homosexuality in his
5
team.
weeks after his dismissal, so Vilda takes the reins of this African team that played in the round of 16 at the recent World Cup, and that only 3 months ago was involved in a controversy sparked by a BBC journalist who had to leave in a hurry from there because he asked the captain,
the girls are warriors. It would be wrong. No, you don't
Juan
see it.
Gislan Chiwak,
This is a question for Gislan Shabazz.
about whether there was a certain ratio of homosexuality in her
Do you
team.
have any gay players in your team?
Islam
And
Shabazz?
what is life for them in Morocco?
Yeah, no, because you'd think it's like the Spanish team or so, and there are lesbians here, and you give it a little bit of a footprint.
Let's see, you see them, and honestly, they could go do jihad.
Actually, rather than the Atlas Lionesses, the sign here should say,
No, you might
it
be
should
right.
say, the girls are warriors. It would be more, no, don't
I
you
would
see?
put another point, or lions. I don't see them at all as lions, but what do I know? It's an opinion. I certainly wouldn't have asked that question as a joke. Let's see the curious moment.
Excuse me, this is a very political question, so I will put some soccer-related questions, please.
No, it's
Thank
about
you.
people. It has nothing to do with politics. Please, let me answer the question.
This one doesn't know where he has put the E to this wretch.
Brave.
No, an ignorant. It is different. Ignorance can sometimes give the impression that it is bravery, but it is not bravery, it is
It
ignorance.
is possible to be so stupid. I mean, I think so stupid.
Because there are people who believe that everybody is like where they live. And this happens a lot in Westerners. Also in others, but it is that the others do not go around the world and ask everybody. Maybe in Uganda they are the same. We lack knowledge about Ugandans and are unfamiliar with them.
Maybe it was a team yesterday. They were going there for, I don't know, recreation. In any case, wrong place, wrong place. And that's it. That's like the one who entered with the rainbow in the World Cup in Qatar and never came out again. I don't know. Everyone can do what he wants. Let him commit suicide as he wants. Thanks to these people and obviously to the government, to Ione Belara, Pedro Sanchez, Irene Montero, and all the others, Spain is more like what they want. Much sooner than a plurinational Spain, I would say a colony that is dedicated to supplying the others with all the good things it has.
Look, it seems to me that unfortunately it is a very accurate definition.
Yes, it is regrettable, but yes, we are a colony. I don't know, yes.
Yes, a protectorate. They tell us what we have to do in foreign policy. In domestic policy, they leave us enough autonomy, not total, but enough. In foreign policy, whatever they tell us to do. And then, of course, they plunder everything they can plunder from us.
In domestic policy, they let us ruin us, they let them ruin us.
Yes, they let us ruin ourselves and they let us fool around because they consider that this does not harm them. On the contrary, if we were sensible and frugal and orderly and all that, it would be great.
That's it. Well, anyway, they have thought that a guy who makes Spain world champion with the substitutes and who also does not have a valid contract is a bargain. You have to pay the restriction clause. The truth is that I don't like them. I don't like Moroccans, but they are smart. The guys are a lot smarter than you. At least I am.
let's see. I don't like the experience. I don't like them, at least not me. I don't like them, at least not particularly nice. But the experience I've had is that they are extraordinarily smart, very clever and very smart. Let's see. I can say, and I say it with deep sorrow and with immense shame, that every time there has been a meeting between representatives of Morocco and Spain, many times, I am not going to say all the times, that they have been very clever and very clever. Many times, I'm not going to say all, but many times the Spaniards arrived without having read the papers. In the idea of how they are Moors, we deceived them. And the Moroccans had looked at the papers, even in their singing. That is to say, they knew the topics, they had turned them around. And of course, it arrived then as the two boxeadores that get on the ring. And one of them has been doing nothing but eating, drinking, and going out with girls, and he hasn't even trained as a joke, and the other one hasn't even left the gym and training. Well, he beats you up, and it's very sad to say, but that's how it is. In other words, the Spanish policy towards Morocco could be another policy, and it is not because it is a policy of lazy and corrupt people.